like it. You've been here. Take one look at you. Ooh, and I like it. Yeah. Hey, so there's a version of that song online. Somebody performing it live, and I love it. Now the dude, he seems like he's a gay dude.
All right.
Cause my sister was watching it, and in the line he says "girl," and she was like, "What?" And I was like, "Hey, that's just the lyric to the line, or the lines of the song." And the Bars originally did the song,
right?
And I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure what they was.
No, the Bars. He couldn't have been because he said good bitches.
That's true. I mean, they said something about Michael Jackson. If you talk to certain people who was in Michael Jackson's circle, Michael was knocking them down. Mm-hmm. But you talk to general public, Mike wasn't about that life.
Okay.
So, I don't know. I'm black and I'm proud. Hey, now everybody just say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud. Come on, say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud. Hey, now everybody just say it loud.
What it do, what it does, what it is, what it ain't is your boy Tim and your boy CJ back again with another Say It Loud podcast.
Say it loud.
Black and proud.
We back here.
What's poppin'? What's poppin'?
Man, how you feeling?
Man, I'm good, bro. I actually had to take off work today and just sleep. Like, you ever just feel like you're just really tired?
Yeah.
Like, you just need to sleep.
Absolutely.
Like, it wasn't like sleepy tired. It was just like fatigue, worn out, like sick to my stomach tired. I was like, why am I so tired? And, insomnia really sucks, bro. Like, especially couple insomnia with anxiety and depression. I'm honest, I deal with depression. So, all that coupled just one time, I'd be up. Like, just thinking. Sometimes I'd be just laying down in my bed, just staring up into the ceiling, just thinking.
Yep.
Like, mind be racing. So I'd be like, I don't fall asleep till like 1:30, 2 o'clock.
I'd be there.
Because I'm too tired to stay up.
I'd be the type, like, for me, if I got gas in the car or money in the bank to get gas in the car, because I have those sleepless nights. I do. Mm-hmm. But one of the things I do is I go drive. Mm-hmm. I go down Lake Washington.
Right.
Clear my head while I drive down there. But them times I ain't got no gas, and I just be talking about cabin fever. I feel like I'm going crazy because I don't know, you just be stressing like I can't go nowhere.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go on a walk, nigga. It is 2 degrees outside. You going nowhere?
Right. No, this week, bro. Like, I just been like just running errands like every day. Like, I'm taking my daughter home to her mom, and then going to like see somebody else, and going to do this thing and then that thing, and then working out in the gym. And today it was 11 o'clock. I was like, I can't do this. I told my supervisor, I was like, look, I need to just call the rest of the day. I just laid down, literally just went to sleep. I went to sleep, and the kids was, you know what, kids are a-holes because they'll mess with you when you sleep. Like, my daughter, she was up here tapping my nose while I'm asleep, and I can hear her and her cousin just laughing. Like, why y'all messing with me in my sleep?
And then we wrong when we wake up swinging.
Right, and if I give you a whooping, then I'm in the wrong. Jeez, find something to do. Watch Baby Bus or something.
So, man, we got a lot going on. So, first of all, again, I do want to shout out Adrian Scarface. Hooked us up. Y'all see the desk. You see it.
Yeah.
2 people on the either side in the cubby hole. Man, come on.
It was
a blessing.
It's a blessing. Thank you, bro. We appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Also moving up on the blessings chain. So if y'all can't tell, Tim is sitting a little higher today than normal.
Yeah, tell him what happened.
Look, first of all, this is my apartment. So the things we use just be the stuff I have. I happen to have an office chair. And since I'm this is my place, I'm gonna use it. Now there's a little comfy chair, which is comfy, but it's low and it's not a podcast seat. But that's all I had, other than some stools, which are really not comfortable.
Right.
So he's been using that. He's been soldiering through. He keeps saying he was gonna bring a chair, but never did. He just suffered through. Listen, I am the king of frugal furniture. Okay, and while I was out doing my due diligence outside, I happened to find an office chair.
Yep, the good Lord done blessed you.
And I said, and Tim was actually inside, so I put him on FaceTime, and I was like, yo, found this chair. It goes up this high. You want to see what it brought it back? I thought it was going to be too small, too short. Works perfectly.
Yep.
That's God. Now, okay.
Look at God.
It wasn't a $60 chair.
No.
But it was a free one.
It was a free one.
And it works.
You cannot argue with free. No. I'll say that much.
The people, my neighbors are moving, so what happens when people move? They'll just put stuff at a certain spot in our apartments. So
yeah,
God, I wish I'd have got it before they rolled it all the way over there. But
yeah, but anyway, the Lord is good.
Yes, He is. Well, I see you got we got room now, so we starting to put stuff on the desk.
As you know, I collect Funko Pops, and I had to bring up some few from the culture.
Yes.
You know, Tupac over here, Run DMC in the middle, and Kid and Play right here, and Mr. Spike Lee up on the top.
Yes.
Because that's where he deserves to be.
Spike Lee deserves the top spot. I agree with that.
The top spot.
Also, for me, on my side, you know, I got my book, Letters to a Blind Man. Make sure you get that on Amazon, because I be spitting facts in that. Then I got my Hustle candle. I made it. See, because there's a label that says Hustle.
You making candles? I didn't know you made candles.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Got you.
Actually, I can, but I haven't. But I got to, you know, we got to get the hustle spirit up in here. Amen.
You really like the candles?
Hell yeah, we did. Waft in that. That's money. You got to waft in the money. You got to smell it, believe it, and then go get it.
That's the money candle.
I just scratched my head. I also got my hair did.
Yeah.
That happened.
Yeah.
I'm not all the way sure.
Everybody getting dreads nowadays.
I'm not all the way sure. I've never had this dread before, so, or, you know, twist or anything like that. So, I just got it done today.
Did that hurt?
No, not too bad.
It
hurt back in the kitchen. My sister said she was back there when she first started, and I was like, you got you a little spot back there, didn't you? She was like, you got naps. And I was like, don't be racist. And she said, no, I'm holding them. It's a nap.
All right, look, let me tell you real quick a story about the first time I got cornrows.
Yeah.
So back in high school, I was a huge Warren Sapp fan, and I played football. I had to play at the same position as Warren Sapp. So I figured, you know what, I want to get braids and cornrows just like Warren Sapp. So, and I had a huge afro in high school.
Yeah.
Like anyone that went to high school with me can vouch. I had a huge. I'm gonna bring a picture in it too. I'm gonna bring a picture and show you how big my afro was.
Or just send it to me. I'll
send it to you. So yeah. So my auntie, she was real good at braiding because she was short and she had small hands, so she could really grip the braids, right? So this is my first time getting braids, and everyone kept telling me, "Oh, you're ill. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna really hurt." I'm like, "Is it really gonna hurt that bad?" And they're like, "Bro, just get you'll see." So I'm sitting with my auntie. She may be sitting on the floor or whatever, and she's braiding my hair up. I've never broken a bone in my life. I've had a cut on my arm before that was really bad, but this pain is it was funny. Is like. It would have been less painful if it was anybody else, but her hands were so small that she could grip the hair tight enough to where it'll twist really good.
Yeah.
And I was halfway through, I was in tears, so much pain. And I remember my uncle.
Cried getting your hair braided,
bro. Please, bro.
I've had my hair braided, so
but this is what was I, 18? I think, or 17? 17-year-old me with my pain tolerance wasn't up there yet, so I'm still like, oh, this hurts really bad. And my uncle was like, hey, you want me to take the pain away? And I'm like, what you mean? Like, yeah, I can make it not hurt. He real, I was like, yeah, what do you want to do? He said, all right, and he grabbed like my thigh, like the inside of my thigh, and pinched it real hard, and I was like, and he was like, yeah, did that hurt? Like, yeah, I didn't even think about my head at that point.
Wait, I always wondered about stuff like, oh, well, not always, but I'm thinking, if you're getting your hair done, pain, I'm taking pain, okay, do this, now you doing all of this.
No, but he pinched me so hard that I didn't even think about the pain in my head. I just thought about the pain in my leg. I was like, now my leg hurts, I'm not even thinking about my head now. So yeah, that was the first time I got braids, and obviously, it didn't last.
That's all right. I've been all over the place. I remember first time I was 17, and my father started losing his hair at 17.
Okay.
cul-de-sac started. Right. And so I was like, all right, it's coming. Right. So I'm going to get all the enjoyment out of my hair I can. So I got it braided at 17. Mm-hmm. I didn't know, mostly your hair takes after your mom's genes. Mm-hmm. My mom's side, my grandfather, he died at 70 something, and he had a full head of hair. Mm-hmm. So mine has been fighting. My dad was getting some leverage up in the corner areas, but my mom was fighting back. So I never lost my hair. So after I got it braided, and I was like, well, it's going to go now, and it never went. So braids and waves and fades. Mm-hmm. Those are my normal, but I was like, I'm going to try these twists. I'm going to see what this about. Mm-hmm. I'm in a new time in life. So
yeah. Let's see. Let's
still think about shaving.
Yeah. Don't shave, bro. Don't shave.
Here's the thing, y'all. Keep the beard. And please tell me what y'all think, because my normal how I rock, I do a goatee. Not only, but a lot of times I'll have the beard all in place in the winter months because it'd be cold. I'm practical with mine. I'm not necessarily, because mine's never grown to the fullness, and when it has
the luxuriousness.
The thing about it, I'm too, bro. I got too much stretch. I start pulling the hairs. I start biting them, pulling them out. All of this stuff. I start messing with it.
Yeah.
So I'm not good with it.
Keeping a big old beard like this is definitely a lot of upkeep, because I be chewing on little bits and pieces, like beard be coming in my mouth and stuff. But no, it's what's crazy? The ladies love beard. Like True. They love the beards. Like you could be Gollum. And if you have a beard, they'd be like, "Oh, okay, I see you, Gollum.
Oh, man,
with your little beard." Ladies love beard. What do you think? What do you think?
Again, it's all about where you're at with it. Because right now you have a full bushel.
Yeah.
Understand, my hair's not that long. So what'll happen is, if I don't groom it, I'll get patches. I can't just naturally be bushy. I got to do too much. Mm-hmm. And I care when I go out, but I don't want to care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's kind of more.
No, I can't. This is right here. This is point of no return.
Yeah.
If I ever took this off, like, I would look so weird. Like,
have you ever shaved your mustache? I shaved my mustache once.
I
did
it one time. I
terrible.
will never do it again.
I
did that one time. I will never ever shave my mustache ever again.
And not only so, two things happened. One time I shaved everything, and I was just like, no, ma'am. And then another time, the barber messed up on the goatee part, and she went too far down on the trim on the inside, so it just looked like I had like a line drawn around my lip and my chin. And I was like, no. So just cut off the beard, or cut off the part, but I kept the handlebars like a cop.
Yeah.
I look stupid.
That reminds me of a joke Dion Cole did about shaving your mustache. He's like, I don't trust no nigga with no mustache. He was like, where the fuck is your stash, nigga?
Especially if you have a shadow and no hair.
Yeah.
It's like you knew you wasn't supposed to do that.
No.
You knew it.
I'm keeping this beard, and it's gonna turn gray on him. I don't care. But
and that's the thing is. So when I get frustrated, I do certain things, and I have a belief. I'm not saying this is scientifically true, but I just feel like the more I pull and rub through, I'm making them gray. I feel like every time I do this, I see a few more grays, and I'm like, all right, I don't have a problem with getting older, but I don't need to push it along.
Yeah, I mean, getting old to me really is a state of mind, because my dad, as old as he was still young acting.
Oh yeah,
like he still had this youth about him, even in his age up until he passed away. So like I try to keep that going. Like I don't want to act old. I don't want to look like I'm getting like out of touch. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm still young. Not I want to say young acting, because that implies that all my behavior is young acting. I'm not. I'm
got that young spirit.
Yeah, a young spirit. There you go. Young spirit.
I mean, and I agree with. See, and that's the thing, is I got an old soul.
Yeah.
It's weird because I have a young spirit when I'm turned on, and as a performer.
Right.
I get on stage and you think I was 17, but But just in life, I'm like old soul. Everybody just calm down. Right. You know, times like, I'm cool.
just calm the heck down.
Just calm down, son. Speaking of son, so I was finally able to I've watched the first episode of Bel-Air, actually.
Finally.
Watched it with Tim here.
Yeah.
And so we can talk about that. So I'm going to catch up, and we're going to talk about everything else next week.
Yeah, so I'm all the way caught up, but he's just to watch the first episode.
Caught up.
We're going to talk about the very first episode. Yeah, we're not going to dig into anything that happened after the first. It's the very first episode.
Yeah, just the episode 1. So I understand y'all be like, yo, but what about this? He's gotten there. I haven't gotten there, so we're just keeping the conversation to episode 1.
Yeah, next week we may or may not talk about everything. We might just break it down episode by episode, but it really depends. But
actually, I'm still probably going to want to do episode by episode, because the way I took my notes for that, I'm like, I got stuff to say.
All right, I got you. All right, well, let's start it up then. So episode 1 of Bel-Air. I'll say this much,
please, because I know you've been holding some stuff.
After watching the first episode, I would say that this is the greatest remake of anything that's ever been remade. It's very, very clever how they created the characters and the storyline, how everything's been flipped on its end. Like, if you look at even Will's character, like in the show, like just comparing the source material. And here's another thing too, before we take a deep dive, don't compare this show to the sitcom.
Yeah, it's
not, because it's not a remake, it's a reimagining.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like shot for shot.
Yeah,
I think of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. This is.
You can keep talking. We're still recording.
Okay, well, this is what would happen if the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was a darker adaptation to the plot, and I think it was absolutely brilliant.
And I think because it's not a sitcom TV show, because when you're doing a sitcom like that, you have limitations.
Right, absolutely.
I mean, so obviously that's the first thing. Everything was made for TV and blah 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 blah. But I like that they took it with the reality pill, basically. You know, when you make, yes, you can make jokes, you can have little funny things, but the situation, which I love about this, is they're making that one little fight and my mom got scared, they're making that real.
Yeah. Not
a bar and a song.
Yeah. And in the show, Will didn't start the fight.
Oh, no.
This show, Will didn't start it either, but Will
was dumb.
Yeah.
Let me go to my first note.
Yeah.
My first note simply says, fuck respect in the hood.
Oh.
And I mean this in a certain sense. Now, understand, if you from the block, like, I want my city to respect me. Right. I want the love, so I get that.
Okay.
But there is a line. Now, I had said this, I also try to keep into account that the plot and premise, these are teenagers.
Right.
They look like adults, but they're teenagers in this situation. So I try to remember that when I say you're dumb. You're still going to be dumb. But I also know you might not know better, or the know better hasn't clicked in your mind yet.
Right.
As a young person.
Right.
Grain of salt there. But let me tell you what, when the old boy was like, yo, if I didn't go to juvie, I'd be starting. And they got into a whole thing, and he's like, yo, if you about that life, come to the playground and play me. I would have said, you got it.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm not going.
That's that young mindset that Will had. You know, all he wanted was that respect. That's all he cared about, was being popular in West Philly, and this is my city. Really, like, in reality, this is a real situation, but this is still in TV. But in reality, it would have been like, okay, he would have went home, show over. It would have been one episode, but to keep plot armor, he has to go to the court to prove himself that this is his city.
You know what? And I'm gonna jump on that my city thing real quick, because I've been in situations where the my city slogan flies, and maybe there's drama for people who feel some sort of way. Listen, people, ain't none of this our city like that. We don't own this shit.
For real.
And it's crazy to me. Jay-Z had talked about it. He was like,
Right.
Don't the neighborhood that your mama paying rent. I can't remember the bar, but it's like you don't own anything here. Your mama live here. You just here,
right?
And you like, no, this is my block. You ready to kill, steal, and destroy
for a block you don't even own.
Like, yo. So that's where the pride and stuff. That's where I'm like, man, you got it. I'm like, I'm not not that serious.
Yeah, no, he pulled the gun on dude, and I was like, huh? Like,
yeah, that was my other thing. Why? Will, listen, I get being scared to take an ass whooping. Right. Ass whoopings hurt.
Right.
And in that situation, he was going to lose.
Yeah.
Okay? They was getting jumped. Well, no. Trey was getting jumped.
Trey was getting jumped.
And Will was just watching. Terrible move. Then he made a more terrible move. And he went and grabbed a gun and shot in the air.
Right.
I think your boy is taking an ass whooping. You might as well take that with him. You should have just dove onto the pile.
Well, here's the thing about situations that require a split-second decision.
True.
You know, that's my defense for Will. Like, it was a split-second decision that he could either, like a left or right. You can go left, grab the gun, shoot off, it continues, or he could just jump on top or jump in the fight, start fighting them back. They fight him, and who knows? Maybe the cops don't show up. Maybe they still keep beating their ass until.
I don't think the cops. I think it was a gunshot that triggered them. But yeah, I don't think the cops would have showed up.
But if the cops didn't show up, they would still beat them up, and they could possibly get beaten to death. Or,
true.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe get injured, and now Will can't play basketball no more. You know what I'm saying? You don't know the outcome. All you know is the decisions you're faced with.
Mm-hmm.
Go left or go right. In this case, he went left.
And then, next note. Oh, wait. Dumb bet. First of all, I'll give you $2,000 and you work for me. Nigga, I got to go to school. I'm not working. That's a dumb bet. Come on.
Yeah, no. Drug dealers don't have that sense of practicality with situations like that.
Okay, then my next note after that. After Will, okay, so he goes left, gets the gun, shoots in the air, crowd disperses. Okay, dumb decision, but that's where we're at. What you should do now is run, leave, vamoose, disperse, go. This nigga just gonna stand there and point, and then get the threat at him, and then he should have pulled the trigger at that point. Because
if you pull the trigger, there's nothing that could.
I know the cops were too close.
No. I mean, if he pulled that trigger and killed dude, there's nothing that he could do to save his ass. Like,
true.
You're going to prison and you are going to get locked up. There's no Uncle Phil that can save you from murder.
That's very true. Yeah, you're right.
Very, very true.
But the note was, you need to learn to run at the right time. You had time to get away.
Right. But I mean, you know, plot armor.
Yeah.
He had to stumble away.
I don't think he should have. Like, why did he point the gun at old boy though?
That troubled me too. I was like, why?
Like, he really stared him down like he was gonna shoot him.
It was Trey. Was Trey still there with him, or was?
Yeah, Trey was still there.
Okay, so I guess he didn't want Trey to get beat up anymore. So,
but that's the thing. So he's getting his ass whooped. Will runs over, gets the gun, looks around. A lot of time going by. He shoots in the air. Everybody runs, disperses. He helps Trey, because he goes over, he helps Trey up. Trey stands. The dude's standing over there. Now, Will, they should leave, but instead, he goes for his dramatic pose.
Right.
And I'm like, nigga, go.
Here's my thing, though. Here's my thing. In order to have a show like this, practical and logical decisions have to be thrown out the window.
I get that. I'm doing argument's sake.
Right.
This is what irritated me.
Right.
And here was the point that Will's mom made, which was very important. Will is the one that pulled the gun.
Yeah.
The gangster didn't.
Right.
That counts for something.
Yeah,
because, again, which takes me back to, Will, you didn't have to pull that gun. You might have had to take an ass whooping.
Right.
You ain't have to pull the gun, though.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
He shouldn't have went there anyway, dummy.
Yeah, and then it cut right after that, and he's in jail up there crying. And dude was in there too with him. He was like, "Them tears ain't gonna save you." And he was looking dead. You know you dead when you get out that. And here's the thing: he had to go to L.A. Because if you pull the gun on somebody and you in jail with the dude you pull the gun on, and you walk out before he do, somebody told or you.
Well, okay, so that was the thing. So they both get arrested that night,
right?
And then they're both in the jail. Then the next morning they come and get Will. Okay, I get. No, I don't get. I hated that he was like, "How you get out? You snitching, bitch? I've been sitting here all night. Who did I talk to?"
Right.
That was just a dumb thing that they should have cut that line out. Because for people like me who are analytical, I'm like, you watched him the whole night, you stalker.
Night.
You know he ain't talking to nobody.
Nobody talked to nobody. But he a hood nigga from Philly. I mean, what's he gonna expect? Like, what else is going through his mind?
And what I say he should have did when he was in there crying. He was like, "Them tears ain't gonna save you." I said, "Well, fuck it.
You then,
we already in the deep end, nigga. Fuck you, bitch." Might as well. He's like, "I'm gonna kill you." Well, fuck you too then. Like,
no, what I imagine happened behind the scenes though. So Will gets put in jail. Trey escapes. Trey calls Will's mama like, "Hey, Will got put in jail."
Yep.
She calls Uncle Phil, like, "Can you get Will out of jail? And I'm gonna send him to you, so this gangster don't kill him."
Mm-hmm.
So she packed his bag, waited till morning, got him, took him straight to the airport. Dude, I'm like, that was quick.
That was very quick.
I had to have think like somebody had to. This is a lot going on behind the scenes to where
for real
went from the jail
because it was at nighttime when they got arrested, and in the morning,
went straight to the airport. I'm like, dude, he couldn't even go back to the house. Like, he got to
couldn't
go.
Get his lucky
and
draws.
I understand this is why I think it happened that way because in order to keep him from getting killed, he had to go ASAP. Yeah. He couldn't just linger. He had to go. Because no one else knew that he was still in there except dude.
Yeah. Like, but that's also the thing.
Right. And
he probably could have took a day for real.
And as far as he know, Will's still in Philly. He didn't know he went to L.A. So that's why
Trey thought he was still there.
Right. If he stayed there, they run the possibility of anybody else finding out that he was going to L.A.
Yeah, he had to go, which again, he didn't know that he was leaving. He just knew he was getting out of jail. But let me have known I was going to get on a flight right now. Fuck you, bitch. And let me tell you something else about your mama. I would have went all the way off. All right. So he gets to L.A.
Right.
My first note once he's there is Jeffrey is a part of the Nation of Islam. He is part of the fruit. He is a Muslim. You're not going to tell me.
He's definitely a Muslim.
Jeffrey has taken classes.
Yeah.
He lines up. He knows the commandments.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a Muslim.
He out here. I can tell.
Jeffrey. I think Jeffrey's a double agent, bro. For real, because he got this swagger. Like, I know. I'm like, he's like, you know what? Perfect description. He's a fixer. Like, you ever watch mafia movies?
Yeah.
There's that one guy that just knows how to just do everything.
You ever watch the Ocean's 11s movie?
Yeah.
He's Rusty.
Yeah.
He is he's Rusty in Ocean's 11.
Yeah, no, he has his hand in everything. He knows the inner workings of the house. He's more than a butler, bro. He's like he's a fixer, bro. Like, and you got a problem, go to Jeffrey. You know what I'm saying? Jeffrey's everywhere.
I bet Phil's really powerful, and him and Jeffrey probably came up together, but he got in some bad shit, and Phil saved him, and he's like, "I'm your boy, I got your back. I'll run this shit." That's probably.
Yeah, I'm thinking that might have happened. Oh, and Hillary's fine, as hell.
Hillary's cute.
No, you're tripping.
Well,
bro.
Here I say this with the context of Vivian. Is fine as hell.
Vivian's fine.
That's she's the top for me right now on this show. So Hillary's cute. Vivian fine.
Vivian's fine as frogs here, bro. I'm not even gonna lie.
And they made Lisa a little thicky thick.
Lisa's the thicky thick girl. Representation. I love that shit. I was like, wait, Lisa's thicky? Let me holler at Lisa for a second. But the thing that flipped me out was that Lisa was Carlton's ex.
Where did they do that?
Hold on, and we gonna get to Carlton's bitch ass.
Wait a minute.
In a second.
Okay, I have a question. Yes, she said that's my ex. She did say that, but it's crazy. Oh no, because Carlton and the white dude talked. They did say that. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's weird that ex Carlton. He's a villain. Why would she want him? She's sweet and supple.
But this is before all this happened. They might have had a good relationship somewhere down the line. She even said that their families were super close.
She did,
which is different from the sitcom too, because Lisa didn't come until like later in the show.
And Lisa came during when they was in college.
Yeah,
they're in high school. So.
Yeah. So that's an interesting dynamic. I wonder why they went that route, but it does work for the show.
Oh, it worked for that last scene.
Yeah.
That I was like, oh,
yeah,
shit.
yeah. Uncle, I like Uncle Phil's design, even though I know a lot of people didn't.
Okay, Uncle Phil. Here's my thing. When he first jumped on the scene, I didn't like him. I didn't like him but I can tell he was playing that corporate middle road.
Right.
I understand that you have business interests and you don't want them to be messed up.
Right.
Completely understandable. Still, I just feel like maybe you should have gave forewarning or did a little better about giving your nephew the cold shoulder when he comes up.
Okay.
It's like, if he gonna be here, let the motherfucker be here and learn him how to do this. But you can't cold shoulder him. I don't feel like.
I don't think it was a cold. It was definitely cold, but I don't think it was as cold as you think it is, because he was in the middle of talking with like major players in his political campaign, and he didn't want what was going on with his nephew and his whole family to like affect that, because he's big about his campaign, about his career and all of that. Yeah. He ain't let nothing or nobody come between that.
I feel that. Again, that don't mean he couldn't have handled it different. Like what he did eventually, I think he should have did in the beginning, where he hugged him and he was like, I'm glad you're here, we'll talk later. He should have said that when he came up. Don't let the awkwardness go, because then what happened, he was like, I think so-and-so suspicious. That's because you let that shit linger too long.
Mm-hmm.
You made it weird. So
and I think it's funny how, because they had dude playing Judge Robertson, but if you remember in the show, Judge Robertson was played by Sherman Hemsley. And him and Phil were like beefing. They had a whole few episodes they were campaigning against each other.
Yeah.
But I like how they just put his name in there as a reference, like, okay, that's the reference to the whole.
I'm not gonna lie, I was expecting, because I saw him standing with the two dudes, I was expecting Phil to say, these are my partners at the law firm and the Earth, Wind, and Fire line.
Well,
but it didn't happen.
Firth, Wind, and Fire.
He's like, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Wait, I'll get back together. I thought it was gonna be a.
Oh, and I think what was dope is that if you watch that scene where he's on the plane and he's drinking orange juice from a champagne glass, that's like a direct line.
Well, it was there. He didn't sip, but yeah, he
no,
had the
but that's the
juice.
Line from the song.
Yep.
Like if you listen to the whole original,
I know that song.
Yeah, there's a line that says drinking orange juice out of a champagne glass, and they put that in the show.
They also say he was in the song. They say he's in first class. I couldn't tell.
Yeah,
they had champagne glass, so technically that's first class. But he was like in the back of first class.
Yeah, but it's still first class though.
So then what else we had? So I had said this, but I said Aunt Viv should have just said no, Will can't come to the party. Okay, that wasn't necessary as I watched, but I think she was being weird.
Oh yeah,
Aunt Vivian was being weird as fuck when Will first showed up.
And that's crazy, because if you remember in the show, like she was so like she was Will's advocate basically. You know what I'm saying? But this show, I feel like in that moment she was just like,
for real?
No.
That's why I was like, ooh, something bad's gonna happen, because he was like, hey, she said, let me show you to your room. And he said, oh, if it's okay with you, I'd rather go to the party you guys are throwing and get some food and da-da-da-da. Right. And her whole demeanor was like, this is not your thing and I don't really want you here. But she caved. And at first I was like, oh, he gonna mess up. She was tripping in my mind.
Oh, yeah, she's big. She was big tripping.
Yeah.
But it was for she's just as careful about her husband's political career as he is.
Which is, I think, that the preamp to him walking up to them. She tried to save it.
Yeah, and then she ran into Hillary. She was like, get Will something to wear for the party. I think that was her main issue, really, with how he was dressed. And you know.
Actually, that makes sense.
Yeah,
makes sense.
In a little bit of the situation too, because he just got there. She knew why he was there, and she wanted to be weird and all that. And then at the party when Uncle Phil made that speech about the prison, what was it? What did he say?
Something about inner city and prison, school to
prison pipeline. Yeah, and then Judge Robertson was behind Will. He put his hand on the shoulder like
he sure did.
Yeah, we're talking about you, old black ass.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, we're talking about your disenfranchised youth self.
And I loved that Will took that. You could see that he was like, oh, y'all trying to,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
so I thought that was a good little.
Do you think that Uncle Phil bringing Will out there like that is just because to help his campaign?
No, it's not. And I think him and Vivian were talking, and so no, I don't think it was just for that. I think that helped. Mm-hmm. I think he does genuinely care, but I think he's caught in that I care, but I built something, and now you better not fuck it up.
Right.
I think that's where Phil is, which is why it's hard for me because at first, after the party, when they went in the room, I thought Philip was a dick unnecessarily. They go in the room. Will's like looking around again, fish out of water here. He's like, man, I ain't seen this room yet. Goes to sit down. This is how you know it's not finna be a pleasant conversation. You don't need to sit.
Oh,
okay.
Right.
So we starting somewhere now. And my whole thing is, Will showed up, smile. I mean, yes, he's going through some things, but he is presented himself, well and smiling and been in a good mood. And that conversation, Phil basically took that moment to punk him. And I was like, what? That wasn't necessary.
Yeah.
You could have talked to him.
Yeah.
He came up to you at the beginning, was trying to thank you and be like, yo, and I understand it's the wrong time, but that's the energy he had. And now when you're ready to talk, you're like, yo, shut up. This is my house, my rules. I was like, that was an unnecessary approach.
Yeah, definitely.
Talk was necessary, but the approach was so unnecessary.
I think they prejudged him based on why he was out there in the first place. And I mean, it's wrong, but
it's natural. It's human nature.
It's human nature. You know what I'm saying? So, hopefully in the later episodes that their relationship will get better.
I imagine.
Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Fucking Carlton.
Okay.
Unless you wanted to touch on something else real quick.
Okay, because I'm not sure whether to talk about Carlton first or the siblings as a whole. Let me talk about the siblings because I have less to say about them.
Okay.
The siblings as a whole, they had a scene during the party where they were just kind of chilling.
Right.
Right. Now, Carlton, we had met Carlton once. He had talked to Will. He was like, why are you wearing my clothes? But fine, if you're going to wear my $500. He gave him that smart ass. If you're going to wear my $500 cufflinks, at least put them right.
Right. Right.
Little stuff, not too big. And they started on the jokes already. He was like, you have my suit on. And Will was like, oh, well, yeah, Hillary said it was for a growth spurt that never happened. So they're starting to,
right.
Which I loved.
Right.
But right then, again, what I said from all the previews, Carlton struck me as a villain right off the bat. From that interaction.
Yeah.
That interaction, I was like, ugh, he's a passive-aggressive little dick.
No, I actually liked Carlton's character until that scene in the locker room with him and the white boys.
Well, hold on. Oh, sorry, I'm timelining it.
Okay.
With that, though, that was my first impression, and I was like, ugh. But getting to the siblings, though, when they were in there, all of a sudden, I was like, see, now I want to like Carlton.
Right. Because
he's just with us, and there was a good scene and everything. And I was like, he's not being a jerk or anything.
Right.
And I was like, see, I fuck with this.
Right.
Then we get
to
school.
Oh my gosh. And that just showed me that Carlton, for one, this is with the start of his villainy. Because ain't no way in hell if I'm black and my friends are white and they up there saying nigga in front of me and I'm not punching one of them. He's right with him. Like, no, you don't get to say that. And the fact that he didn't check his friends like that just proved that you really are not for.
All right, let's talk real.
Okay.
Say you grew up in this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Carlton's 17.
Mm-hmm.
He knows nothing else except for Bel-Air.
Mm-hmm.
He been rich.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Goes to these schools around these people.
Right.
Again, what I said, that's his ecosystem.
Right.
Now, yes, he can say anything he wants, contrary to what's going on. Mm-hmm. But as Uncle Phil said, part of growing up and being a man is, taking responsibilities for those choices you make. So I don't think it's out. I'm not saying I don't fuck with Carlton and then that whole scene. I'm not on his side. I'm on Will's side. But let's just take into account somebody who this is their life and ecosystem, and somebody else coming in like, you're doing it wrong. Be like, nigga, I know nothing else.
Right.
These are the only people around. Ain't no other black people to back me up if I'm decide to take these motherfuckers on. Okay. And everybody ain't got heart like that.
So you're telling me that he did that because
he might be a sucker. I mean, that's the definition of a sucker.
No, he is a sucker.
It's too much going on, and I can't fight all this, so I'll just join it.
No, he's a sucker. Because if you black, you're supposed to fight all that, even if you're by yourself. There's no way in hell I'm letting.
That's not fair.
If you're,
I'm not going. Okay, this is where we differ. I'm not going to put that expectation on anybody because how I feel about how a motherfucker says nigga, somebody may not feel the same, and I will not say they're less or anything black because they feel different. Mm-hmm. Their world may be different. Carlton's world is different than Will's. Mm-hmm. In Will's world, you say nigga, you getting stomped out. Right. In Carlton's world, it's all white people that are rich that say nigga, and he's the only black person. Right. If he says something, okay, you stood up for your people, but guess what? Your people ain't here. It's just your black ass, and now you're exiled.
I hear you.
So he may have chose, fuck it. And honestly, I was trying to decipher as I watched the scene, because I watched Carlton's face as Will told him, he was like, you's a sucker. And I felt Carlton saying just that. He's like, you don't know what I got to go through. And I'm just deciding to be cool. And I like that. And really, that was facial expression that I got from it. And I see both sides.
Right.
Now, I'm on the side of Will. Don't get it twisted.
But I mean, he still gave that whole excuse of rappers say it, so why can't we say it? Excuse. Well, because defending his white friends. He had
already doubled down in front of everybody. So now it's like, listen, this is again when they had the conversation where they explained all that. I don't agree, but I think that was his justification for listen. You expect him not to say it, that kind of going there. I don't agree, but I try to look at things because we can get our perspective and what we've been through. So this is how we see the world, and this is what's right, and that ain't right because just like me and you, we both black as hell, both from Seattle, only a year apart. There's certain shit that you be like, I've never heard that in my life. That don't make me less or you less if I say something. So I always try to keep that in mind. Carlton grew up in a white neighborhood around white people doing white shit. He doesn't know. Now, he has choices. Now, with the word nigga,
I don't buy that. No,
with the word nigga, that's different. But let's take the show and put it in the context. It's not just nigga. It's everything. Right. They highlighted that. Right. So let's take the highlight off and just put it. One black dude, 1,000 white people doing racist shit. How you gonna respond? You gonna fight everybody or just shut the fuck up?
Oh,
he chose to shut the fuck up because that's his world.
Right.
He ain't had the ghetto world. He don't got that heart.
And that's the thing about when you change your environment, like if like you get rich, like this dude you just said, you get rich, you move from the hood, you go to a different up to a rich neighborhood, you move out and all of that, and then you lose that sense of like self. Like I don't give a fuck how much money I make or how many white people's around me. In hell one or all of you are saying the N-word. I don't care if it's to a song or to a movie or just because you're just saying it around me and I'm not saying nothing. I'm sorry, my blackness will not allow me to not say anything like Carlton did. Carlton he was right there dancing with him, and like he a damn like it's a damn minstrel show. You feel me? Like that's what it felt like to me.
But that's what it was. But that's his world. See, that's the part I don't is we will step into a situation that we've never been in. We come into a whole new thing with our perspective on how we live our life in our hood. And we see somebody of the same doing something we wouldn't do. And it's not fair to put our expectations and experiences, this is how you should respond because you black. Nigga, you ain't never been black and rich. You don't know what the fuck we do over here. But that's real.
Okay, but saying the N-word though, like really,
Kanye
so
West
freely?
Said no, because Kanye, fuck that, because Kanye's our dude. He be fucking up, but he's our dude.
Okay.
Kanye said when he dropped Gold Digger, he said in an interview, I don't care if you say this a part of the lyric and I want you to sing.
Just look,
he's black too.
Okay, but just because he said it, I don't mean I'm not gonna say nothing.
Amen. I agree. Carlton and fictional character, but people, that situation is very real. People in that situation ain't you. And the fact that you approach the situation like, man, now we can look at the show and judge the fuck out of it.
Okay.
But that situation in real life is like, we'll approach it with a Black Power mentality, or a, not Black Power, Black Panther mentality. But that ain't how they built. And I've seen it so many times in different scenarios that people will put pressure on somebody else because of the skin color. This is what we do. No, it's not. It's not. As a whole, you can't. Well, there are a couple things you can say as black people as a whole do, but a lot of things are individual.
You know what? I'm gonna touch on that real quick.
Pause.
I just realized what the hell you just said.
I did too. That's why I had to say it.
Look, let me speak on this real quick.
Have it.
The whole white people saying nigga in front of us. The reason why they do it and they feel so comfortable doing it is because we allow them to. You know what I'm saying? Carlton in that scene, he allowed them all to say the N-word, regardless if it's in a song or not. He allowed it. Now, if we start checking white people saying the N-word like that, then they would not say it. But my question is, why do white people feel the need to say it so bad that they ask us, like, why is it okay for y'all to say it but we can't say it? My daughter told me her teacher came up to her and said, why is it okay for y'all to say the N-word but we can't?
You know what the answer is? The answer is because black people are cool. And so we make music, or we do movies, or we do things, and for us, which is cool for us, we say something, and y'all want to be cool like that. That's why. Now, when you say we got to check them, I agree with you. But again, I try to keep reality in perspective. Reality.
Okay.
Now, my reality is different than somebody who is in a sea of white people and they're the only black. I don't have... Actually, I hate fighting, but I will. I have fought a couple times over some racist stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But, again, I'm just trying to keep the perspective of, let's take that locker room. Let's say there was 30 guys in there. 29 of them are white. And let's just say, for what we can tell, racist as fuck. Maybe subconsciously, still. And one black person. Okay? Now, that one black person didn't just get dropped in like Will. No. That one black person knows all 30 of these white folks because we went to elementary school together. You are the people I know. Now, his experience and his life and everything around him says money, 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 money. How does the money move? By doing shit to make the rich people buy it. Nigga in the song, nigga in the song. All the songs that they buy, See, that's where... Now, he's dumb, but I think a mindset, especially being a really rich person in an area where you don't really fit in, especially if you didn't move there, you was born into that, what do you expect from him? Now, his mama, she could have hooded him up because she from Philly.
Right.
But she seems like, what'd she say to Will? She said, I didn't change. I adapted. No, that bitch, woo.
Ooh.
I'm sorry.
Disrespectful.
I was getting amped up.
You better apologize.
Miss, I apologize. I don't know what the actress's name is. But Aunt Viv, she said, I didn't change, I adapted. No, that means you started letting shit slide. You started saying, that's okay because if I say something, I'm going to jeopardize where I'm at. Which is ultimately where I'm going back to Carlton. Only person here, star on the thing, if he starts to buck, yes, the culture will love it. But his world will start to crumble. Now, is it worth it to him? He ain't had no black people come and have his back.
Right.
That's the only point I was getting at is I'm on Will's side, 100.
Right.
But I can definitely see somebody who's like, look, I don't have that fight. I don't have that testimony. I don't have that experience. This is what I know. Not to say it's dope, because it ain't. But
no, I see where you're going from.
That's
I see where
all.
you're coming from.
So I didn't mean to get amped. I just been,
no, I definitely.
I'd be talking, when we talk about the blacks and the different kinds that there are.
The different kinds there
different
are?
Different kind of blacks.
There's kind of different kind of flavors of blacks.
I'm talking, what's that? I love the skin I'm in. My melanin is popping. I'm talking caramel, chocolate, mocha, coffee, and almond. Okay, all the blacks. What else we got? Sibling scene, but then I like him. Oh, I said Uncle Phil was really whack. Oh, so we touched on this. When he first came again,
that's right.
him and Will's thing.
Right.
I was like, oh, I don't like him. And then when he punked him, I was like, oh, I don't like him. Then you heard him monologue. Him and Vivian talked, and him and Will had a talk, and I was like, oh, I like him. I like him. It's okay. And then the last note I had. Carlton's a damn cokehead.
Look, he said Xanax, but we gonna call it.
He did say Xanax, but coke.
For the sake of argument, he a cokehead.
Yo.
Now this is why I say this series is like Multiverse of Madness for black sitcoms, cause this nigga's a whole in the show, in the sitcom, he did drugs that one time
on accident.
He
thought they was gonna clear up his acne in one night, which was dumb.
And they flipped it. Now he snorting Xanax in the closet.
Yo, this dude had his headphones. He had the blue light.
He was a total vibe, bro. Like he was like really like in his drug use.
He had his shirt off and everything. I mean, he was in the zone.
That was funny to me, and I'm like, and I looked at all the characters too. They flipped all the characters on, like they flipped them. They're like totally different. Hillary ain't ditzy. She's got a good head on her shoulders in the Bel-Air series.
Yeah.
And she's a chef and a social media influencer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I still don't, again, even in the show, Ashley, she didn't really get any bigger roles until she got a little older.
Right.
But even in Bel-Air, I was like, they didn't give Ashley enough shine.
Well, it's her part was small to begin with.
Exactly. I just wish that there was more shine to be had for her.
No, I definitely get it. And I think that in the later episodes, they will give her more shine.
I hope so.
Because there was a couple episodes during the sitcom where, Ashley was the focal point, and it was some good stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think later in the show we'll see a little bit more of Ashley.
Again, Jeffrey is a hit, man.
Jazz
is good, people.
Jeffrey is a fixer. He is definitely an Italian mob boss fixer with his hands.
Hey, man, you think his hair is fake? You think the actor, you think he's wearing a piece?
No.
I don't know if I like the way that his hair and sideburns connect. No, I don't know if I agree.
I like it. I like the whole design. I think they took all the characters in the show and made them like cooler. You know what I'm saying? If this is a cool version, like what would happen if they're like?
Yeah, Carlton didn't have a cardigans or anything like that. He got a suit. It looked good.
In all sense of the word, he definitely had Bel-Air drip. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Will had Philly drip. You know what I'm saying? And that drip clashes against each other.
Yeah. And that's the other thing. You could tell, man. I mean, actually, I don't know if they actually shot in Philly. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, the Philly swag was there at the beginning. I mean, all the wheelies and the music, the vibe, the way they talked about cheesesteaks. I mean, it was a Philly vibe.
Yeah, and if you close your eyes and let the actor who played Will in this talk, you can almost hear Will Smith.
Oh, what did I say? He was talking, I think it was to Carlton.
Yeah.
When he called him a sucker,
yeah.
he looked at him, and he made this face that I said, now, that was a Will Smith, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That's how he would look at Carlton. And I was like, hey, he got that little move. That was nice. But, yeah, Carlton's on the crank. And he tried to kill Will, technically.
Yeah, he tried to kill him.
Because when Will met, or not, the second time Will met Lisa at the pool.
Right.
I think, he said, I don't do the swimming. He didn't necessarily say he couldn't swim,
right.
But he said, I don't do swimming.
Right.
And then, again, plot twist with Carlton and Lisa being exes.
That was crazy to me.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous.
But you know what? Am I wrong? I don't know if they addressed this. Actually, don't tell me. I just want to assume. Am I wrong to assume that yes, they were family, friends, or whatever, but because they was black, that's the reason that they dated?
I don't think they.
The parents trying, but
ooh, that's a good point.
See, because then that goes back to that world.
Yeah.
Ooh, and what did she say? I'm on scholarship and nobody will let me forget it. Right there, she an outcast to whatever Carlton is because they both black, but he rich.
Right.
You know, be shit like that.
Right.
But yeah, when Carlton saw them making out and he pushed him in that pool and he just sank, I'm like, damn, how deep is this pool?
Okay, right. It's huge. Like, I think that first episode was great.
And I love that he punched Connor.
Oh, I wanted to do. I think everybody wanted to do that at that point. That was so delicious. That right hook was so delicious.
They cut off for episode 2 right as he went to go punch Carlton. I wanted to see that because Carlton's a coked up villain.
Oh, he's a definite villain, and I love it. Yes. I honestly love it because it just drives the whole show. Like, I don't give a damn what's happening with everybody else. What's Will and Carlton doing?
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
Really, I want y'all should do that.
Right.
I mean, I want to see Hillary succeed, but
Right.
Shit. All right. That's that was all the notes I had on episode 1.
Right.
Carlton being a cokehead really threw me. Because in the TV show they had to pump his stomach and he was like, I never want to do drugs again. Yeah. This time he said, let me do my drugs in peace. He said that. That was a line in the show. Let me do my drugs in peace.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, oh boy.
Yeah, it's a lot. But that is episode 1. Now, obviously, what episode 5 just got released, so we gonna catch up.
We gonna catch up.
I'm gonna catch up.
You gonna catch up.
But yeah, that's that.
This is another topic. I was thinking about this the other day. This might be like an old question, but is cereal soup?
Absolutely.
How is cereal a soup?
You eat it with a spoon. I don't. Okay, it's liquidy. Yes. I say yes because some people don't like hot soup. Just like some people like cold pizza.
Okay, but cereal is milk and cereal together in a bowl. Mm-hmm. Is that the same as like tomato soup? And if so, why don't we just call it cereal soup?
It's America. Why do we do anything we do? I don't know. Okay. In all honesty, cereal I would never call cereal soup. Yeah. But if we want to break it down, either cereal is soup or soup is cereal, because it's the same thing.
Nigga, soup ain't no damn cereal.
Why not?
Because cereal is cereal. Nigga, you're confused.
What do you mean? Okay, so like in Lucky Charms, you got the marshmallows,
right?
You got like 6 different of those,
right?
And then the gross part, the cereal part, and milk. Now, in a soup, let's say chicken noodle.
Okay.
You got noodles, you got meats, whatever vegetables, and the roux, or whatever you call it. Same thing, except milk and roux.
That's more of a stew, really.
Okay, what's soup then? Chicken noodle soup. I said chicken noodle.
Yeah, but you put a roux in chicken noodle?
I don't know. Whatever the water. I don't know. I don't eat chicken noodle
a roux
soup.
is you use flour and.
Oh, not a roux. Then I heard somebody say that the other day, and I really fucked with it.
Soup is like minestrone, beef, chicken noodle soup.
Soup. Can I be real? I don't like soup. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I love cereal. I don't understand soup because it's never filled me up. Now, when I was a kid, I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna front. The grilled cheese with the tomato soup at daycare, the slaps.
Slapping.
Until I saw somebody make some tomato soup, and I just was disgusted at the way it came out of the can. And I was like 9. I have not eaten it since.
Oh shoot.
I'm not a soup person.
Yeah, I don't really dig soup like that either.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so.
Other question. If animals could talk, which would be the rudest?
Cats.
Hands down.
Sons of bitches.
I'm not a cat person. I really don't like cats.
I'm not either.
No.
See, now I think cats would be the rudest. I think that crows, though. I think crows would be the shit talkers. I don't.
What about pigeons?
See, I think pigeons. Okay, I'm just weird how I'm breaking this in my mind. I think pigeons would just be the birds that be there just talking randomly, loudly. Like, you know how they just be sitting on the thing? I just feel like they be up there just talking about nothing and just going. And if we understood them, we'd look up and be like, yo, shut the fuck up. I feel like that's the pigeon. That'd be the pigeon.
Okay.
Oh,
What would you rather have as a roommate? A goat or a bird?
What kind of bird? And don't say a crow, because that's not. I don't want that.
Like a parrot. Let's say a parrot.
Yeah, bird.
Hold on, well, wait, because the other is a goat. So
yeah, I was about to say they don't really compare.
Okay, ostrich. An ostrich is a bird, technically.
The fuck?
So you'd have an ostrich or a goat as your roommate.
Roommate?
Yeah.
So this nigga inside?
Huh?
This nigga's inside?
Yep, in your house.
I gotta go with the goat, I guess. I'm not. You know how big an ostrich is?
And scary.
And if that nigga decide to take off running, I only got a 1-bedroom apartment. Okay.
All right. What is the most boring? What's the worst song ever? In your opinion, what's the worst song you ever heard?
Oh no. Jeez.
Like a song you heard and you just like, I can't do this right now. I hate this song to death.
Oh no. If you have one, please, because I got to think about that.
I have a couple.
Tell me, because I'm shit.
Well, Baby Shark for one of them. That's because of my daughter.
Okay, I could definitely see that. I guess I might.
Oh, what does the fox say?
So here's the thing, kids songs actually don't bug me that much.
Okay, then
I'm not gonna lie. Down by the Bay where the watermelon grows, that's my jam.
Okay, that's a bop. But I'm just saying,
that motherfucker today.
I'm just saying, like, what does the fox say?
Wait, what? I don't know how it goes. I hate to put it in your head, but I don't.
You know, what does the fox say?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
I hate that song too. And Gangnam Style. Don't tell me you like that song.
I don't like it, but it doesn't annoy me how it annoys other people. And I'm not gonna lie, when I first think about it, I will give you the rev up, Gangnam Style. I'll do it for a couple times, and then I'm like, all right, that was dumb. But absolutely would.
All right, what's the most annoying color?
Color?
Yeah, like you see the color and you're just like, I hate this color.
I'm not a huge fan of pink.
Pink?
Pink. See, I don't know if a color annoys me, but pink is a color I don't necessarily.
Lime green annoys the hell out of me.
Ooh. Okay. I'm gonna give it very specific. Okay, pink is okay. We're gonna put pink back in rotation. The Seahawks lime green uniform. When they first debuted those in like 2016 or something.
Yeah.
When I tell you I almost had a seizure trying to watch them run on the football field. I hate. And that was and when they debuted those was the play where Tyler Lockett had that, I mean, not 45 degree, the nigga was at 32 degree angle catch. Beautifulest thing in the world, but the nigga was all liney. Ugh. Oh, I hate that. I don't. I like it in small doses. They gave me a whole uniform, and I was done. No. You know, it's a color that I like for some reason. Orange. Orange be standing out to me lately.
Yeah, orange is definitely one of my favorite colors.
And I'm very low key when it comes to fashion wise. I like to be understated. I really don't do bold colors and stuff like that. But orange been messing with me lately.
Yeah.
I think I like orange.
Yeah. What do you think what is the coolest sound?
My music. Ayo.
That is probably one of the most
Ayo.
I'll give you that one.
Let's see. The best sound. Okay, this might be an after dark answer.
Ah. Okay, let's just keep it at that. I don't know. I think the coolest sound to me is a gun chambering. No, that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see
love that. Or a shotgun. Like, that's one of the coolest sounds ever.
Okay, you know what a sound, and it's not. I'm not gonna say this is cool or anything, but you know a sound that gives me joy.
What's that?
Somebody, and it really could be anybody who has the right, but somebody who has a laugh that comes from deep down in this area. Boom, right there. That come up with that bass. You sound like Melvin from the Temptations when you start laughing, and then it just go. When I see people genuinely have that laugh that they gotta bend over, that shit, that is a beautiful sound.
It is really.
I love it.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. All right, I'm done with that. Empty. Where are we at? I think we got a couple minutes.
Okay, what body part would you want to add to yourself? Okay, next question.
Let's do.
Nope. 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 Oh, what's your least favorite scent?
The penny.
Oh yeah.
My least favorite scent actually must.
Actually, the smell of pennies.
Mustiness.
Mustiness?
That is. Oh. Oh my gosh. Yo, musty children are trash. Mm-hmm. Not as people, but as they're being musty. Mm-hmm. When y'all walk in smelling like Wendy's and ain't got a burger or fries to show for it, I'm disgusted.
Yeah, kids do smell like outside and bark and dog
Is that a black thing? Now I'm black, so I only know about my household. But
I think that is a black thing.
You smell like outside.
Yeah, I've never heard any white people say you smell like outside. I think I've only heard black people say you smell like outside.
And I know what outside smell like.
Did we ever talk about our favorite black sayings? Or was that?
We brought it up, but I don't remember if it was on this, or we were just sitting around.
That's interesting because there's a lot of black sayings that we.
You know, it was brought up, but I couldn't think of any off the top of my head when we was brought up. I was like, I don't know.
There's do you got McDonald's, buddy? Or shut up before I give you something to cry about.
Hey, okay. Let me answer both of those. Number one, shut up before I give you something to cry about. Bitch, I'm crying already. You didn't see that I got it? That's number one that I've always hated. Number two, do you got McDonald's money? Have you ever responded with yes and had the money? I wouldn't listen. Bro. If you listen, folks, if your parent gets to the point of saying, do you got McDonald's money? And they doing this with their head, listen, even if you got money, shut the fuck up.
Right.
That wasn't the point.
Be quiet.
Be like, quiet. Yeah, I do. Pull it out and they just snatch it. No, you don't.
Nope.
And they walk.
You sure don't have McDonald's money. Or that phrase, if you like it, I love it.
You know what? I didn't really hear that much until I got older. Yeah. Honestly. Yeah. But I actually like that phrase. That's a good way to just like, I'm out, bitch. You like it, I love it.
Or the classic church phrase, bless your heart.
I say that. Man, bless your heart.
Bless your heart, your ugly baby.
Yes. Look at you.
Have you ever seen an ugly baby? And then
yes. It was like.
That's messed up. What happened? What happened?
No, I'm not. Listen. All right. This is what I'm going to say. Yes. There be some facially challenged kids and babies out here. Now. Trying to navigate here. I saw an ugly baby once. That's what he was, and he grew into his face. So, amen. Great looking young man. But if anybody, even to this day, there are certain people who know, so they'll just come around mess with me, be like, "Hey, what do you think about so and so as a baby?" And you know me, when you bring up R. Kelly, when you bring up things, I go red and I start kind of going. That'd be one of them. Now I'm controlling myself on camera here, but I've seen me an ugly baby. I never heard either of this person's parents ever come to their defense as a child.
Oh.
But they grew into it, and they're a very good looking person.
No.
But ugly. Listen, because there's ugly adults.
Uh-huh.
Let's stop this.
Uh-huh.
See, everybody's so worried about. Now, I'm not saying go up and start calling people ugly. Don't for your safety.
Okay.
But let's be real.
Uh-huh.
Are there ugly adults?
Yes.
That means there are ugly kids. Now, I'm not saying you're an ugly kid, you're going to be an ugly adult. No, they could have been a cute kid and turned ugly. A lot of times they was born ugly, and they had to grow, get their hair right, however they decide to. But, yes, answer to your question, I've definitely seen ugly kids.
Damn.
Listen. True. Okay, I think this is our last segment because I pressed this like 4 times. So we probably got like 10 minutes.
All right. Do you have a question you want to ask?
Hold on. I just want to jump right back real quick. Ugly kids. Because I'm open. Now, a lot of people seen ugly kids, but they won't say that because that's rude. You don't say that. Fine. You don't say it to the person. But with that being in my head, I pray that I don't have ugly kids because I know they exist.
Right.
So I don't want one. Okay. Question for. Okay, man, you was good with the questions. I ain't. Okay, wait a minute. I feel like I had a question, but it might be for the After Dark joint. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I talked with this about my dad, and I just want to see what you think.
Okay.
Do you think that adult parents or adults should have to pay to adopt children?
Okay, so you mean like if you're to adopt a child, you have to pay to adopt a child?
Yeah, because how it goes, if you're going to adopt, you got to pay the man.
Yeah, I mean, you got to pay to adopt, like, dogs, right?
Man, fuck them dogs. I hate animals.
I mean, if you adopt an animal, you got to pay, right? I mean,
pay who?
If the shelter, the whatever. I mean, if you
okay,
adopt a kid,
well, forget them animals. Let's talk about people, because the animals get too
right,
much respect.
but I know people that have adopted kids before.
Me too, yeah.
And they've said they had to pay certain fees that go along with
So my question is that right? If this ain't my child, and I'm like, listen, I want to take them out of your system and put them into a working. Why do I have to pay you, bitch?
If the government,
you should be paying me.
If the government cared about that sort of thing, then yeah, they wouldn't charge you to adopt a child who obviously needs a home. But it's the government. Money has to be in here somewhere.
I don't like it.
I mean, you got the adopted parents who take care of the child; they get paid. The actual state workers who actually do all the paperwork and all that to make sure that, and they get the child out of the crazy situations that they be in. They use all resources with the the cops and social workers to get the child out of that bad situation. That's you. Yeah, so and then that child goes from them to the adopted parents who they take care of the child until they adopt them themselves, or they get adopted to another family who now that other family has to know and understand that there were costs to get this child here to where they're at. Now, granted, like I said, if the government had a heart, they'd be like, no, money is not even a question. Just here, let's do our background checks. Let's make sure you're a good fit, and here's the child. But
I mean,
money makes the world go round, so that money has to go. And and that's crazy that money, even in the most heart-wrenching situations, money is in there somewhere.
Yeah,
and that's a sad fact of life.
I'm gonna be real. Like, I don't think, that just seems like counterproductive.
Right.
We don't want children with no parents. We don't want children in the system.
Right.
Okay, I'll take care of this child. Well, if you want this child, we gonna need like $30,000. Like, okay, you keep them, and then you just have a person that's like, I don't understand the trade-off there. I don't get it, and because I know a few people who have adopted, so I know a lot of the ins and outs, not the ins and outs, but of what they're going through, and I'm just like, y'all better than me. Cause
that's another black saying.
Cause it is. Because yes, I would love to adopt and raise and help mold a productive member of society.
Right.
But raising this child is going to cost me money because kids cost money to raise anyway. Mm-hmm. You're telling me I got to pay you to get them and then pay to raise them? What the fuck? I don't even know that nigga.
But there's money still has to go forth to cover the cost to get the child where it's at now. You gotta understand that there were costs incurred, if I'm using that word right.
Yes. Yes, you said it right.
Okay, that were put towards getting this child here. Like, you never know. Like, that child could have been in an abusive home or with parents on drugs somewhere, and there had to been expenses put towards getting the people lined up to get that child out of that situation.
I feel.
And I said before, if the government had a heart, you wouldn't have to pay anything to take this child and raise him as your own.
I just wonder how many kids don't have families because I can't make a down payment on you.
Right. No, that's definitely sad.
Like, that's my whole thing. It's like, I can't pay for the child, so they gotta stay in the system.
Right. I'm not comparing children to animals.
Oh, I knew you wasn't. I just hate.
But the process is essentially the same.
Okay.
With adoption.
Yeah. Okay. One last thing. Okay. Oh man, I don't know if I should talk about this with you because you got kids. I don't, so you're gonna have a whole different feel on it. These are some of the questions that I was having a podcast with my cousins, but then I realized some of these questions were gonna put too much of our business in the street, so I canceled that. So now they just sitting here. So okay, let's see how you folded this question. Both parents should assume equal responsibility in raising a child. You feel that or no?
It depends on the parents.
Okay.
Like me and my ex-wife, we raise our child together. Like, and then my other two kids, we co-parent. Even though she lives in Spokane, and I'm here. Yeah. We still co-parent, and everything is copacetic. Both parents should definitely have a hand in raising the child, together or not. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Now, if the mom or the dad is like on drugs or alcoholic or they're homeless or something like that, or in that type of situation,
extenuating circumstances,
then the responsibility has to fall on the well-to-do parent. You know what I'm saying? If my baby's mom is out here doing drugs and all that, and she out in the streets and all that, my child ain't going over there. Just because you're the mom, that means you get to have her. Yeah. But you're not taking my daughter running the streets or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not in that situation. I'm just saying.
No, a lot of people are.
If that was the case, you better get your shit together before you even think about seeing my son or daughter.
See, but okay, no, I'm with you. Right. I think like more where I think I was trying to go with it is, do you, let's say that two parents in the household, they got the household. Because a lot of times you'll see, the typical, the dad is the strict, the mom is the nurturer. So when you're talking about raising a child, because a lot of times one parent will fall back in a certain area, and the other parent pick it up. But what happens if they fall back in a certain area, but they don't pick up anywhere else? Now it's like, I do, because we're guys. Let's just talk about moms. Let's say, mom, I clean the house. Oh man, I don't want to sound any kind of way. I don't know how to get the question out. I'm just, when you're both in the house and the child going through something, do you think that there's a time?
Oh, so you think if it's just for dad or it's just for
mom, like when you have those times where this is dad time as opposed to this is mom time, do you ever feel like that needs to be equal, or it's
no, it definitely, it really depends on if you have a son or daughter, because certain conversations with the son can only be had with the son's father. Now, if the son's father is not in the picture at all, whether dead or in jail, and it's just mom, of course mom's going to have to do it. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't have to, and mom and dad is both in the home, if the boy is having some issues with like puberty or and like he gets a hard on at school and doesn't know, just embarrassed about it, right? Mm-hmm. That's a dad conversation.
It is. Actually, hold on. Let's focus here real quick. Moms, bless y'all heart. We love y'all to death for everything y'all do.
Bless your heart.
Listen, your young preteen son get his first boner. Don't make it weird. Don't make it weird. Okay? Right. Making it weird looks like this. Did your dick get hard? It's okay. It's normal. Don't do that shit. Okay.
See, that's what I mean though. Like, and then on the flip side, you know, daughter has her first period.
Guys too.
You know, daughter has her first period and at school, and she's embarrassed, and she comes home, and no, dad, if you're the only one there, man up and have that conversation.
Gotta do it.
But if mom is there, mom had that conversation. Mm-hmm. Then maybe dad can share his perspective. You know, it's all about, you know, perspective.
You know, something I always wondered. Now, I don't know. I have no personal experience in this. Right. But in TV shows and stuff, if the mom is going to talk to the daughter about women stuff, they always kick the dad out. This is mom. How come the dad don't ever stay and see what the mom's saying? Because if they're going to have more daughters,
right,
maybe you should learn how to communicate.
Right. But maybe maybe that's on the preface that, you know, they're gonna be together forever.
And she
might not. Yeah. And she don't care. I'll always have this conversation.
Yeah.
You know, because you're not going nowhere. I'm not going nowhere. So.
Now, I'm not gonna say it's cool when parents and their children, especially opposite sex, can have those conversations and it go right. Like, that's super dope.
Right.
That's not the norm. A lot of times it's very cringy.
Right. But here's the thing. It really also depends on your relationship you have with your children too, because my daughters, they come to me before they come to their mom sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And that shows that, hey, they trust me with whatever they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? And hey, they trust me that I can handle the whatever they're going through with them. You know what I'm saying? As children get older, you know, they want to be able to handle their own stuff with just coming to you and not having it broadcasted over the whole family bulletin board.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Daughter had her first period. Everyone, let's just comfort her.
Why is that? Like that? Okay, now in my experience from just what I've seen, I be seeing moms be more or less putting their daughters on blast when the period comes.
Period parties?
Why y'all doing
you ever seen
that?
What I do?
No. Well, I just Facebook or in person be like, oh, they got her period.
That's a thing, bro.
Why are you saying that?
That's a thing.
Oh.
Period parties.
And maybe it's weird to me. And I should have prefaced, which you guys already know, but I should have prefaced this part of the conversation. I don't have kids. I had some stepkids once. That shit's over. So these are just questions I just be having as a person.
No, I'm the one with children,
and which is why it's good I asked.
Yeah,
and, you know,
it's good that you brought that up too. I mean, period parties are a thing. I've heard of them happening, but and there's the thing. There's certain things that men don't need to understand that women do, and there's things that men do that women don't need to understand that men do. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing, that's a woman thing. Let them do them and don't even think about judging.
See, but it be stuff like that. Now, there's a show you was talking about, Fresh Prince being a great remake. Mm-hmm. The Wonder Years, also a great remake. The black version of The Wonder Years.
Right.
And in that, it was the mom was trying to talk to the son about certain things to teach him so that he didn't grow up to be like what ended up another character, a grown man who was closer, who had all these things, they didn't know how to talk to women the right way. Mm-hmm. So I will say that, you know, moms, especially if you can slip in lessons to your son, I'm not saying sit down and tell him how the period works. I'm not saying that. But if you can slip in little things to at least let him know how stuff works, so he's not either freaked out or says something completely stupid that makes people look at him like, yo, you weirdo. You don't need to know the ins and outs. Like I say, some women need to know this, men need to know this. I don't think you need to know the ins and outs of all the details, but it's good if you are present in life, give him a little help.
Right.
You know what I mean? Moms, help your son out. Give him a little inside information. Dads, also, tell him, dudes ain't shit out here.
Right. Right.
You know,
for real. If we're honest about the good, we have to be honest about the bad when it comes to our own species, our own gender. We're trash. Women are trash. Men are trash. If we're honest to our children about how trash we are and where we are trash at, we could be better people.
And the thing about being trash in any specific spot is, one, you can clean trash up.
You sure can.
You gotta choose to, but you can.
You're right.
But also being open and transparent, especially with your child,
Absolutely,
about some type of serious conversation,
right,
is good, because your child knows that, well, my parent is here and they've been through some things. Me and my dad have had many talks about some of the crazy things he's done. I've done crazy things too, but at least I know my dad's human, and we have some of the same experiences, and that's a cool thing to have. Yeah, that's all I want to say.
Yeah, good question.
Yeah. All right. I think we good.
That's a good place.
I think that's a good place to stop.
That's a good place to stop.
We appreciate y'all for joining. If you made it, I think this is a long episode. We appreciate if you made it this far. Like always, like, share, subscribe.
Like, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram.
Yes.
Look out for the Patreon. That's still in the works, and it's coming
in March. I don't have an exact date, but in March.
More details about the Patreon and tiers and everything will come forth soon. Keep a lookout for that. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, all the things.
All the things. And with that, I'm creating shows. And I'm getting Tim. I want him to create some things, to go on this Patreon. But little conversations like we just had, I didn't plan to go into some of the more serious, because that was a serious thing we just talked about.
Right.
I didn't plan to do that. I really kind of planned for that for like after hours type things. But with that, if y'all like that kind of content, let us know.
Let us know. We'll make it happen.
We have a yin and yang.
Yes, we do.
He is a parent with kids that are. How old's your oldest?
17.
Jeez. He's got kids. One of them almost grown. And how's the youngest?
4.
I got nothing. So there be stuff I'd be like, yo, man, tell me about how trash kids are in this area.
Oh, and I'll let you know. I've seen it. I still experienced it.
But I will say this is, when you start talking about kids and family, regardless of where you go, it can get touchy.
Yeah.
So if y'all are into that kind of content, let us know. We'll
Right.
make some more. We're not going to keep that so much for the main podcast, but we will focus on that. If that's what you like. And last but not least, hustlermentality.com. Go buy a shirt.
Support the podcast, buy the merch, all of that. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, y'all.